I just wanted to sing Splish Splash. I was taking a bath. Bert and Ernie. Oh, God. So many things have been coming through. People will justify why they do what they do when they're in their ego, when they're in their shadow. When they're in their ego, when they're in their shadow, they're lying to themselves. They're telling themselves they're less than, they're in lack, they need to steal, take. And so they'll convince themselves in any way possible. It is like an addict. When you're in your shadow, when you're in your ego, you're addicted to that, hiding that lack. So I need it more than they do. I deserve it more than they do. I don't know why they're getting it. We'll lie to ourselves. And then we're lying to ourselves to convince ourselves, to muster up the courage to go against ourselves. Because ultimately, you might not consciously know it, but deep down embedded in you, you know you are me and I am you. So you fuck me, you fuck you. You hurt me, you hurt you. It's a mirror. So they're lying to themselves to muster up the courage to do what they know they shouldn't do. Well, I deserve it more than they do. It's rightfully mine. They don't need it. They whatever. Then you, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you convince yourself. And then you get the courage and you do it. You do the deed that you know you shouldn't do. You're shaking. Every bone in your body's going, what are you doing? Have you lost your motherfucking mind? Yes, you have. You have lost it. You are not in control of it. No, you are not. Whatever lie, demon, entity, lower energy, depression, lack, less than fear you let in is running that show. They are in charge of you. And your bones are shaking, telling you, hello, have you forgotten me again? Yes, you have. You have caged up your God, your better knowing, locked it, threw away the key. But then you do it, and you get away with it. Or you think. They were showing somebody stealing from another person, and this was the process they had gone through. And they got away with it. And nothing happened. So they started to let their breath out a little bit, relax a little bit, and then continue the lie. I was okay to do that. It is rightfully mine. I do deserve it. I do deserve it more than them. Yeah. And everything's fine. Nobody's going to know the wiser because it was the right thing to do. You'll embed that lie in. Even if the other person knows and gives you grace, you don't recognize it as that. So you do it again. And again. And again. And then you get greedier and greedier, and you keep taking. Every opportunity is an opportunity to change and do the right thing, but you don't ever choose that. It's getting too good now. It's getting too sweet. It's getting too easy to steal and to take. It's becoming second nature. It's becoming who you are. You can no longer claim that you're the good guy. You have fully turned to the dark side. So they're showing this whole scene, which, come on, everybody can relate to that. How many times has that happened to you, or have you been the one who's done it? Unfortunately, all too often. And sorry, it's a busy day down here. People in and out. Sorry, got distracted. That does happen all too often, and you probably, I'm certain you've experienced it some way or another. People lying and then cementing that lie in even further. Or you doing that too, right? So scared to tell the truth, just so scared. And once you do the lie the first time, it's like you want to hold on to that lie. But you've heard that story, right? There's a nursery rhyme or something about that, about weaving that web, right? Because what happens is, once you tell that lie, you have to keep the lie going. But in order to keep the lie going, the lie grows, that cobweb grows. And then you get more people caught in your web with you. You're taking down a whole damn community before you know it. You're taking down a whole city, a whole town, a whole nation, people are lying left, right, and center. They don't know how to stop their lies. They become habitual. And people can hear this and think I'm talking about some serial killer, pathological liar. Nope, you, the everyday person. You're telling little white lies in your own head, in your own mind, to yourself and to others. You've forgotten how to be honest with yourself. You've forgotten how to stand up for yourself. You've forgotten how to love yourself. Lying to yourself, convincing yourself is horrific, because then you enact it. You start to believe the lies you're telling yourself, and then you act them out. So you are creating your own monster. You are your own monster. But you don't see it that way. But that is what is happening. So we could go on and on with this, but let's not. You get the point, you get the picture. Then they had taken me to hear this, it's like a press release or a press conference. It was something like that. It was like an announcement, something like this. And yet again, it is the idea of the same old story. We got the bad guy. First off, who the fuck's the bad guy? We're all the bad guy. We're all the good guy. Who the fuck's the bad guy? Where's it start? Where's it end? Who's judging who's right, who's wrong? Who's up, who's down? Do you hear? Do you see? Based on the previous story, can you see how it's like, who the fuck knows? When did this cobweb start? So you caught one of the ones caught in the web of the mess of who started the web. Where's the original spider? What the fuck is happening? Do you hear what I'm saying? We're going about this the wrong way. People have been telling us that since we have records of people telling us things. We are going about it the wrong way. Stop pointing fingers. Stop blaming others. Stop making up a story. Stop making up excuses. Stop thinking there's one bad guy. Was the bad guy created by the bad guy himself? Or was the bad guy created by the environment he was in? Or was the bad guy created by all the stories you made up about the bad guy? Who knows? Who cares? It's not stopping, and it never will, because it serves the bigger machine to always have a fall guy, to have a bad guy. So we can claim the, quote, good guy is the hero. Is he? Or is he the original spider? Who the fuck knows? But if we keep going down those detective lanes, trying to unravel and unfigure it out, we're avoiding that we too are part of that. We too are part of that. So why don't we stop and start loving ourselves? It's like the only way to starve out the enemy, to stop the bleeding, to halt the lies, is if everybody holds themselves accountable. If everybody starts loving themselves. If we teach people that. If we teach people how to fully love and honor themselves, to grow their own backbone, to have the courage to say no, even if they're offering you everything you've ever wanted. Meaning, very simple, obvious example. You always wanted to belong. You never felt you fit in anywhere. You come across a bunch of thieves, robbers, drug addicts, and they're friendly as all can be, and they invite you in and they say, you belong here. We'll love you. What do you think a bunch of thieves, robbers, and drug addicts are going to do to you? They're going to steal from you, they're going to rob you, and they're going to drug you. So you got to have the courage to say, yeah, I'd like to have a group, but I'm going to choose me above the group choosing me. I'm going to choose me, and I'll decide which group feels right for me. What's worthy of me? You got to grow that backbone, because you're going to be faced with those kind of things where it's like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to belong. Oh, money. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted money. Love. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. It's love. But all of them are in disguise. You're not really belonging with the thieves and the robbers and the drug addicts. You're not really getting that money. That money has strings. They're going to take it back and then tax you on top of it. You're not really getting love. That's not love. That's lust or less than dressed up as. It's all masks. It's all an illusion. You have to give it to yourself so that you're so filled and saturated, you're not tempted by the exterior. And if everybody starts doing that, everybody starts to truly get to know themselves, love themselves, honor themselves, be responsible for themselves, stop falling prey to the less than, stop giving way to things you don't want to give way to because they're offering something that you think you don't already have. You think you're required, like you've allowed yourself to get into such deprivation in certain areas because you only knew how to get it from outside yourself. The first thing that comes along, you jump at. It's, there's a thirsty, right? You've heard people say, oh, they're thirsty. They're so desperate in that area because they're deprived in that area. And so you might have somebody who comes along who sees that and has unconditional love and is willing to pour some onto you to satiate you so you're no longer thirsty, to get you upright again. But you might not know the difference. You might be so scared then and then think they're bad and push away the good because you don't know the difference. But ultimately, none of that matters. What matters is you need to unlock it within. You need to know you. You need to figure the fuck out. If everybody figures it out and everybody stands upright, we automatically, now people really are walking in my, it's out of control out there. Do you hear the little kid crying? But that is good. Good in the sense the kid's letting them know. I don't know like this. That kid sounds like me. Sorry, I do have to check and make sure this baby's okay. Okay. Yes, if we could all do that. If we all could learn how to really stand up straight, really grow our backbone, really love and honor ourselves, not be influenced by people trying to bully you or scapegoat you or blame you or guilt you or shame you or manipulate you or convince you or, I mean, this is all the nonsense that happens all the time. And again, you don't have to judge them. Some of them, yes, they're doing it on purpose. Some of them don't know any better. Some of them are in deprivation. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? You're part of the bad guy parade if you don't learn how to stand upright, grow your backbone, and love yourself and honor yourself and keep surrounding yourself by the right people, places, and things. So it's like we have to stop this get the bad guy. Who's the bad guy? All of us. We're all part of it. Who's the good guy? All of us. We're all part of this. So we're only fighting ourselves. We are constantly fighting ourselves. Internally and externally. Internally and externally. It's all the same. It's all the same. So it's like we're going about it the wrong way, thinking we're, quote, hunting out the bad guy. That's a scary, dangerous disaster, right? The hunter becomes the hunted, and who knows who's who, what's what, up from down. Honestly, it's all an illusion. Half the time you're cheering for the devil, thinking it's the angel. Or maybe you realize that angels can be very dangerous. So you say angel and you mean demon. And you say devil and you mean good. Who knows? Because everybody's topsy-turvy. Everybody's speaking one way, and they mean what they mean, and they know what they mean. But it happens to be the complete and utter opposite of your definition. So you think you're on the same team, but you're not at all. So you're fighting one another and not even knowing it. You're undermining one another left, right, and center, and you don't even know it. You think you're on the same team. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I thought we were going after the bad guy. Yeah, I did too. This is the bad guy. That's not the bad guy. That's the good guy. That's not the good guy. That's the bad guy. It's like, oh my God, a bunch of fucking morons. We don't know up from down because we don't know ourselves, and we're not loving ourselves, and we're being puppeted by so many other people that are laughing hysterically that we're running around with chickens with their heads chopped off, not knowing what the fuck we're doing, screaming and hollering, hawking, and blind as bats, bumping into one another. No idea. Because it's the ego running the show. We're attempting to be the good guy, to be on the right team, to do the right thing. Why? So we're perceived that way. So we can be talked about that way. So we can belong that way. That's all ego. So they will always be able to run us if we continue to operate from the ego. Always. It'll never, ever, ever, ever end. There's always a new fool. There's always a new fool. So instead of teaching everybody, there's a good guy and a bad guy, and we gotta get the bad guy. How about we're all good, we're all bad? Go inside your own homes and figure it the fuck out. Stand upright. Learn that whatever you do, it's coming back to you. So if your intentions, doesn't matter the mask you wear, if your heart intention is to harm another, then that is what you're asking for. You're asking to be harmed, and that is what will occur. And you won't see it coming. You will convince yourself and get away with it for so long. And then all of a sudden, harm will be heading your way. They're showing this example again. This was the original one. Sorry with all the distractions. It's like somebody will rob and steal and cheat and do all this stuff, and then they'll end up with all this, let's just say money, right? You have a bucket full of money that was never theirs. They stole it from others. And they think they get away with it. And maybe they actually can even feel good and excited and happy about it because they have so cemented in the lie that they had the right to steal from others and take from others, and it was rightfully theirs based on the cemented lie they told themselves, that they actually could even get happy with it. Well, next thing you know, that person has cancer. Next thing you know, they get hit by a car. Next thing you know, whatever. It's like you will never, ever get to truly enjoy and truly be happy when you're stealing, taking, robbing, thieving from others. It's a simple example to use money, but please know that is not it's just an easy example. People are doing that with your time. They're doing that with your energy. They're doing that with your attention. But are they, or are you allowing it? Do you see how we're all participating? There are no innocent parties. There are no good guys. But we like to do that, don't we? We like to call them the victims or the predator, or we like to label. We sure do. And it's all from our perspective. But a lot of our perspectives are twisted. We're so fucked up. We don't know that we're fucked up. That's how fucked up we are. people aren't taking a look. People are being told, don't take a look. Just ignore it and move forward. Move towards what feels better, what feels good, what feels right. People don't know what the fuck feels good, better, or right. They're so confused. They're thinking, oh, it feels good to steal and rob and take and fill up my bank account. All right, you're telling me that's what I should do. That feels good. I should move towards that. Who the fuck are you following? This is the problem. And there's good teachers out there that are teaching, essentially, in my opinion, the good and right thing. But the people that are following may or may not be good, may or may not have good intentions. But more importantly, they're not clear within themselves, so they can't fucking hear. So do we stop helping? Do we stop teaching? Right? We've had this question many a times. And it's like, well, people who actually want the help. But again, that doesn't even mean... In other words, people could come say they want help. They could ask for help, but they have no intention of getting help or wanting help. They just want to steal and take from you. See how you do it, or see how this, or do this, or do... So around and around and around and around and around and around and around we'll go. We got the bad guy. Which one? Which one? We're all the bad guy. We're all part of this. You got all of us? Who's you? Who's in charge down here? Who's in charge? Right? It's like we're such a ridiculous shit show of a repeat rerun. It's ridiculous. At what point are people going to say, that's enough? This enough. I'm going to start loving me. Even if it takes me the rest of this lifetime to figure it the fuck out, I will never give up on me. I will continuously come back to me and love me. And I know I'm going to trip along the way, but I'm going to keep coming back to me. Because I cannot, nor do I want to, control outside of me. You do you, and I'm going to do me. But now I'm really going to do me. I'm going to love me. I'm going to honor me. I'm going to stand up for me. I'm going to choose for me. And that might take me the rest of my life or 100 more lifetimes to figure it out, to get me upright. But that's the goal. Not getting anybody outside of me. I don't know who they are, what the fuck they've been through. I have to figure me out. How can I figure them out? Do you see? If we stop with this, because what ends up happening, the other problem, and they keep showing this, and this is the best I can verbalize it, is it's like everybody stops their own process, stops their own healing, stops their own focus. They get disillusioned. So it's like, we got the bad guy, woo! And then they stop considering their own actions, considering their own thoughts, considering their own focus. Right? Because it's like there's a predator on the loose, there's a bad guy on the loose. And people start, it's like praying to God, making amends with them, their higher selves, taking a look at themselves, which is a beautiful thing. Get yourself in alignment. Are you happy? Are you ready? If you were gone tomorrow, are you all set to go? That's how we need to be all the time. Because if we are, then we can be at peace. Yeah, I'm set to go at any point. Any point you want to swoop in and take me, I'm all set. I love you. I'm ready. If we're at peace with everything, we can live the life we want to live. If we're not, then take a look right now. This is all the time you have is right now. At any moment you could go. But so nonetheless, what happens is people do tend to do that. They start to worry, they start to pray, they start to consider, they start to actually analyze, they start to take a look, they start to become present in the moment, conscious, awake. Oh my God, this could be it. So let's pray, let's think, let's look, let's decide. Are we ready? And then the bad guy gets, woo, we caught the bad guy. And everybody goes, ah. All of a sudden they think they have all the time in the world again. And they forget all about God. They forget about their higher selves. They forget about their morals. They forget about the things they decided. They forget about the things they promised. They forget about, right? They totally forget. No, remember me. Remember me always. Not just in the bad times. But that's what people do. They remember unconditional love in the bad times. What about the good times? Why don't you want to include him then? Right? It's like we just don't think of that way. And partly it's because we're in a higher vibration, right? When you're happy and things are going well, we think we're in a higher vibration. But again, I hope so. There are a lot of people that is the case, and there's a lot of people that is not the case. Their idea of a higher vibration is maybe partying and drinking and drugs and doing things that they may appear like they're happy and having a good time, but 2 days ago when they thought they were dying, they stopped all that because they're like, I don't want to live my life that way. But now they think they have all the time in the world again, and they're right back doing the thing that they didn't want to do when they were true and honest with themselves. Because it's easier to numb out, to forget, right? And so it can seem topsy-turvy. It can seem like, well, I don't want it to be hard. I don't want to live my life in struggle. I don't want to have to face my karma. I don't want to have to face how I have not been going after my truest dreams. I don't want to face that stuff. It doesn't feel good. No, it doesn't feel good. If you never went against yourself, then you wouldn't have to face it. But you did, so you do. And again, you can keep running, but you're just running from your own soul. So you're never getting on your, quote, soul's path, right? You're never honoring you. You're never getting in alignment with unconditional love. You're getting in line with conditional love, with next time, hoping that there'll be a next time. But, again, it's like, you believe what you want to believe. Because I do respect that we all have different beliefs. I know my beliefs have changed over time. I hope yours have too. That's part of growing and maturing, right? We continually bust through our beliefs. Our beliefs are simply our limits, right? And once you reach that limit, you break through it and get to a new limit, and you break through and get to a new limit, and you break through and get to a new limit. And you continue to do this lifetime after lifetime until you become an evolved being and you stop having so many limits, or you know how to break limits when you approach them. It's the point of expanding and growing and being able to think for oneself. All right, as you can hear, I'm just going to go on and on and on. That on and on and on was 27 minutes at this moment. It's still 27 minutes. And I'm thinking, what the hell did you have me come on? They had me come on because they were showing somebody who was lying, stealing, and thieving, taking what wasn't theirs, and then convincing themselves by lying to themselves that they should and they could. And then they were showing a whole nother thing where it was this same idea of good guy, bad guy, and the bad guy was taken down. But it's like neither one of these things is really addressing the problem. It's like we don't know how to be honest with ourselves. We don't know how to do the hard things. Like the person who was stealing, thieving, and taking because they believed they deserved what somebody else had earned or was due or owed or who knows what, was making judgment, passing judgment on themselves and the other. They were thinking they were living in lack or they were owed something. We're owed nothing. The universe owes us nothing. We are responsible for our soul. We are responsible for our thoughts and our actions, and we are the consequences of them. So stop comparing and competing, and you don't know somebody else or their soul or where they've been in this lifetime or the past million lifetimes. So you see somebody and they're flying high and you have no idea why they're that rich, that beautiful, that kind, that happy, that lucky, that whatever. They might have had 1,000,000 years of hell. They finally are set free and you want to rip them down. Well, you might end up having 1,000,000 years of hell now for ripping down somebody who was set free and you didn't even know it. But if everybody stopped looking outside themselves, comparing, competing, judging, you're judging they should or shouldn't have something, what the fuck do you know? You don't even know them. You don't even know them. We have no idea what's happening with other people, why they're getting what they're getting. But the bigger question is, why aren't you happy for them? Why aren't you encouraged by that happiness to go, I want to be that happy? How can I be that happy? I wonder what's making them that happy. Right? Why aren't we asking ourselves the right questions? Why are people looking to tear down Why aren't you getting inspired to build yourself up? To be the best you that you can be? How many of those like uplifting songs and stories have you heard? But you don't hear about those as much. You hear about the horrific teardown. And then the good guy wins. And then everybody forgets it. And it's true. Love always wins. It's the law. Love always wins. It is the truth. Unconditional love is the highest vibration of all. But you're required to clean up your insides so you can hold unconditional love. So you are responsible, due to free will, what you chose, to come here and to test God. So go ahead. Are you able to clean up your insides? You have the choice. Are you going to choose you, which is ultimately choosing unconditional love? Or are you going to choose all that's outside of you? You're going to be lured away from you, lured away from your center. Interesting how they just said that, Lord. Yeah, by your Lord. Who is your Lord? Who is your higher self? Is your higher self in your north node or your south node? Right? Who's steering your ship? Right? If you're topsy-turvy and you're following your Lord, the devil, or are you upright and you've conquered all your demons and you're in control and you're leading your ship? So it's your highest self who's in direct connection. Do you even know? Do you? Most people don't know. I mean, I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've been in my south node and I did not know. I didn't know I was coming from my ego. I wasn't asking myself the right questions. I wasn't slowing down to recognize it. And that's usually the case. That is usually the case. When we're scared, when we're in fear, we're rushing and racing about, we're not thinking logically, we're not taking our time, we're not connecting, we're not centering ourselves. So we're operating from our ego. But our ego is sneaky, tricky, manipulative. It knows us so well. It knows us inside and out. So it knows what buttons to press. It knows what to tell us. It knows where our fears are. That's why you have to face all those fears. Otherwise, your ego will keep using them, thinking it's protecting you. So the ego is going to keep pressing on those fear buttons until you get rid of all those fear buttons. But you have to go in and do that work. You have to face those fears. You have to see where they're at. You have to see what your ego is doing. You have to understand it all. You have to translate it all. You have to decode it all. You have to figure out what the fuck you're doing and be really brutally honest. Because it's horrifying to see some of the things you've done or some of the things you've said or some of the actions you've taken because you believed you were in the upright. But that was just because you had convinced yourself of that lie for so fucking long. You had lied to yourself to convince yourself. People are master manipulators. I joke that about dogs because you'll see puppies that, oh man, they learn how to manipulate you. They're training you. And I always joke that they're worse than kids because kids will do that too. You'll see their sweet face and you'll fall for it every time. You'll fall from it every time. Oh, all right. It's clearly a day. bAbBLE. Oh, 33 minutes now. Fantastic. No one will listen to this one all the way through. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.